grab a beer, and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means.
I do.
I have a pretty good idea.
It's turkey hunting season.
Yeah, that's it. No, that wasn't it at all.
Oh, because I was going to say, not to cut your excitement off, but we just saw 50 turkeys out at the farm today just going crazy everywhere.
Oh, my word.
Toms, hens, strutting, running.
I haven't seen that many by our house yet, but I saw like 6 or 8 like a week ago, but I haven't, of course, you know.
So, yes, It's definitely got to be spring hunting time here, is it? Is that what you meant?
That's coming up. That's coming up. No, that's not what I meant. Well, first things first.
Oh, okay.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy. And as always, I'm joined by the best co-host that I could afford.
Oh, thanks,
Jim.
buddy. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Great. Excited.
Yeah.
Beer drinking time.
I say we're finally back in the studio. We had our little trip to Kansas City area. That was fun.
Yes,
yeah,
Boulevard was well worth the stop.
That was definitely worth it in and of itself. And the other ones were just kind of bonuses on top. But I'm really glad that we went there because that's one of the big breweries, you know, that we've always talked good about. And they didn't.
Too bad they can't build a brewery around here so we can have it closer to visit because that was a long trip. Worth the trip.
That was a long trip, but yeah, it was worth it. No, what I was going to say is the music that was playing is, today's Friday and 4 days ago was St. Patrick's Day.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah. So we didn't want to miss out, because we thought people might be upset that we didn't do a St. Patrick's Day episode. So we're doing it today.
All right. So we got a whole bunch of Guinness, right?
No, we don't even have a single Guinness on the table.
No Guinness?
No Guinness on the table.
Oh, all right. Well, now you really have me intrigued by what we're going to be drinking.
Yeah, I mean, basically how it happened is I went to the beer shop and just said, hey, what do you got for Irish beers? And they actually had 6 different beers.
Nice.
And I think we've only had one of them.
Okay.
So this should be interesting. We've got some different styles.
Nice.
All different breweries. As far as together, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't have 2 from any one brewery.
Well, you can't beat that then, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. So, we're going to try a little bit of that and see how the Leprechauns treat us.
All right. Well, so I think am I correct in saying these are all a sort of Irish ale? Well, we have a stout, we have a dry, we have some but there's ales. Irish and ale were the only 2 common themes.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different words in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and
I don't know
dry was in some of them.
Yes.
And I will tell you this, Imperial was in another one.
I did see that.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to get our leprechaun going.
We're going to get something going, I think.
And you know what the other good part is? I'm not going to ask you any questions on this episode.
Nice.
I did bring some because it looked like there was a lot of information just trying to explain the different styles.
Yep.
So maybe that'll help the listeners out there if we can just maybe do that for them.
Oh, sure.
Rather than having fun at your expense.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that. See? My ego was taking a beating there for a while. There we go.
We're going to pump you up.
Yes. I did have a little bit of just St. Patrick's Day facts that I had brought. But we'll see how time goes.
Yes.
We'll see how time goes.
Perfect. So what are we going to start with?
Well, hey, so the first 3 cans, we got 4 cans total and 2 bottles. So it's and 3 of them are pint cans and then a regular size can besides the 2 bottles.
All right.
So the first one, and now these are in order of ABV.
Yes.
Kind of like what we normally do. And the first one's by Phase 3.
Before I forget too, what is our scoring system again?
Our scoring? Oh, yes. Very, very good. Our scoring system is from 0 to 5 by 1/10 of a point. If it's average to us, it's 2.5.
Okay.
So anything above 2.5 is better than average. 4 is elite, kind of that elite class. Anything 4 or 5 is really elite.
Yes.
And then, of course, the same the other way where they're elite another way. So.
All right. And how many of these have you tasted and
of the ones that we're having today?
Registered on Untapped.
Right now, I believe I am at 5,565.
A couple,
just a couple.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, so that's a good sign. So we you know what you're talking about when you start.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but at least I've drank a bunch.
There you go. All right. So sorry for the interruption. Let's go back. So what's our first one?
So our first one is by Phase 3. And we've had a few beers from them. Not a huge amount, but we have had some. And they're actually out of Illinois, Lake Zurich.
Lake Zurich, yep.
And this is their, boy, how do you pronounce that?
Is it the Claddagh?
Claddagh, Claddagh.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure it's like an Irish word. And
there you go.
We apologize. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It is a Irish Dry Stout.
Right. Yep.
4.2% ABV. Now, that's the one thing. Most of the Irish beers I think we've seen are fairly lower.
Right.
Not that 4.2 is really super low or anything, but they're kind of lower ABV.
Yes.
So do you want to kind of go
you want to pour and I'll read?
Yeah.
Don't come expecting a pastry.
Oh.
You won't find it here. Oh, all right. Well, I wasn't
guessing it's not going to be real sweet.
Yes. Extremely simple at its core. A traditional representation of pale ale malt, flaked oats, and roasted barley. That's it. Roasted, creamy, low ABV deliciousness that will make you appreciate the little things.
Like a leprechaun.
Well,
see?
There you go. So this definitely has a stout color.
Yeah.
Is it black or is that just dark brown?
I think it's black.
It is dark. You cannot see through this.
Now, one thing, like you'd said, we had printed off some information on the styles.
Yes.
Because that's one thing that, we've always asked each other, and it's like, sometimes it's hard to say what it is. But now what we found out on an Irish-style dry stout is that it's a black beer with a dry, roasted character, thanks to the use of roasted barley.
Okay.
The emphasis on coffee-like roasted barley and a moderate degree of roasted malt aromas define much of the character. Okay. Hop bitterness is medium to medium high.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
This beer is often dispensed via nitrogen gas taps that lend a smooth, creamy body to the palate.
So I didn't hear the...
No, this one apparently didn't have that.
Okay.
So this one, they went cheap on us. So an example of a dry Irish stout that most people wouldn't know is Guinness Draught. It's going to be your classic example of a dry Irish stout.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it does say that they're, dark in color. Appearance is, black or very dark brown.
Yeah.
And mouthfeel, they often have a smooth, creamy mouthfeel, especially when served via draft with nitrogen.
With the nitrogen.
This doesn't have nitrogen.
Right.
So, and then the ABV on these, they say typically are anywhere from like 4 to 5%.
Lower ABV.
Lower ABV.
All right.
So let's check her out. So it is definitely a darker beer.
Yeah. Ooh, there's aroma.
Oh, that smells. It smells. I wouldn't say it smells like coffee per se, but it
like
has
the
that
roasted malts.
Yes, for sure.
Aroma.
I think everything I read is they're a lot more malt forward.
Okay.
So here, let's try her out.
Ooh, there's flavor.
I would say it's not quite as distinct as like Guinness.
Right.
Being that, real dark kind of flavor. But this one definitely is malt forward.
Right. It's not bad, I guess. I mean, I have had a Guinness or two, but it's hard to remember, after drinking a few different beers. But I mean, I think this is a pretty good representation of a Irish dry stout, I think, in my opinion. It's not over the top in flavor. I mean, like now the finish is real smooth. I mean, I don't even have a flavor in my mouth anymore.
Right.
It's kind of like just dissipated right away.
Yeah, I see it lingers a little bit, but it's kind of gone fairly quickly.
Right. I mean, I think for the novice or introductory craft beer drinker, this would be probably a good one to try.
Yeah. Because
it's not bad at all.
I know people, and I'm sure you do too, that they think Guinness is just way too strong a flavor.
Right.
And it is a stronger flavor. This one is not that.
No.
And if somebody out there hasn't ever had a Irish dry stout, this could be one to try. Because like you said, I think the flavor does dissipate fairly quickly. And it's not, like I said, it's just not that dark a flavor as Guinness.
And I'm, I guess, a little bit intrigued when it says the hop bitterness.
Yeah.
I don't really get hop. I get the more malted.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The roasted maltiness all the way through, but not much for medium to medium high hop.
I was going to say, if anything, maybe on the initial swallow, you get a very little bit on the swallow, but that's it. I mean, I really don't taste a whole lot of hop otherwise.
And it really has me intrigued by when it says, if it is under nitrogen, it might even taste a little bit smoother too.
Yeah.
It would take, we've always found that it makes them a lot creamier, a lot smoother. So,
yep.
So what are you thinking of the score?
Boy, this one isn't too bad. Well, I think we kind of described the whole flavor already, and I really didn't pick up like very much of a coffee flavor at all.
No.
It was definitely that roasted malt. Like you said, that was definitely
the aroma and the flavor.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to say on this one, I'm going to go like a 2.8. Ooh. I don't mind it. I think I could drink a can of that, even though it's a bigger can. I could do that for sure. And, because, I do enjoy Guinness.
Right.
And this is a little bit smoother, I think, than a Guinness is.
Well, I think you just about surprised me with your score. I didn't think you were going to go quite that high. I was not expecting it. I was thinking more, because Guinness has got quite a bit of time in producing their beer.
Oh, yeah.
So they're already outclassing this. So I don't know if I could put it in the same category with a Guinness. Very good representation by all means. I think I'm going to be pushing closer to the center lines. I'm going to go a 2.6, one step above average.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with it. But they're going to have a few more 100 years to go to catch up to Guinness.
Right. See, I'd have to look. I think Guinness I may have had around a 3.
Okay.
So I don't think it's quite on that level. But like I said, I did go a little bit higher just because I think it's a little bit more, where it's smoother, where a new person could probably drink this one.
For sure. Hands down. I 100% agree.
Interesting.
All right. So I guess since we don't have any good questions.
Yeah. Well,
should we just keep on rolling?
Yeah, we can keep going. Now, the next one is also in the 16-ounce can.
Yep.
But this one is an Irish Red Ale. And this is by Appalachian Brewing Company.
Right.
And it's called The Knot.
The Knot.
And the artwork on there is kind of that Irish or Celtic
design,
I guess. Yeah. I don't know what else you'd want to call it, because the first one I should have said is that a heart or what is that?
Is it a hand on the bottom?
There's hands, but I don't know what they're holding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see it on the pictures.
Right.
So that's definitely different. This one is black can, green, kind of like line art, drawing, but it's a Irish Red.
Yes.
And this is 4.8%. Mm-hmm. So what did you find out on this one?
So, brewed with toasty malts and a splash of roasted barley for that rich red color and depth of flavor. Malty, but not caramely or overly sweet. Balanced and meant for drinking. Oh. Exclamation point.
Well, you got to like that.
Wow.
And now on an Irish Red, the information that we had found out is that an Irish Red beer is known for its unique malty taste and is on the lower side of the bitterness and alcohol content scales. If you love American craft beer, the Irish Red Ale beer remains a great style for beer lovers to seek out and appreciate.
So,
and let me see if
I had a little bit of challenge today when I was looking this one up. I found 2 different beers, the exact same name, the exact same style.
Really?
And I'm looking at this can now. So this was actually made by Phase 3.
Oh, well, then we had a faux pas.
Yes, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I was unsure, because when I looked on the internet, it said The Knot, and it had Appalachian Brewing Company.
Now,
and it had the same exact design.
So when I sent you the pictures of these, the name of the brewery is very hard to see on there.
Right. So
you know what I mean? I mean, it's the same green, but it's very thin lines.
Yes.
So we apologize on that. So this is actually by Phase 3 as well.
Phase 3.
Now, the information that I found on Irish Red Ale is it's typically a deep copper red to reddish brown color with a tan or off-white head. And that's definitely what this had.
Yep.
The well-known example that people around here, anyway, in our area would recommend, or would recognize, I should say, is Killian's Irish Red.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
They also said a Kentucky Irish Red Ale, but I don't know who made that. But the Killian's we for sure have had.
Yep,
so
for sure.
And then it's the mouthfeel that the Irish Red Ales are typically medium-bodied with a smooth and easy drinking character. All right, so did it say? Okay, alcohol content, they typically range from 4 to 4.8. So
this is 4.8, right on the upper end of that scale.
Now, this is definitely that copper, kind of copper color.
I wouldn't even say it's red, though. It's not really reddish. It's more copper.
It's more copper for sure. Boy, what did it say for aroma? Hints of caramel, toasted malt, and sometimes a touch of floral or grassy hop character.
There's not a
lot of aroma to me, is there?
Pretty muted.
Oh, I could drink that. That's pretty... Not a lot of flavor, though. It's a lot of flavor.
Pretty muted. I mean, on everything.
Yeah.
Nothing really sticks out, like a flavor-wise.
No, I agree 100% with you there, boy.
Gosh, I mean, it's not hard to drink, but it's just...
There's not much to it.
There's not a lot there. I don't know what... Now, this, I know you mentioned Killian's.
Yep.
I think, if I remember correctly, they had some pretty good flavor.
Yeah, I say that one has more flavor than this. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, and I guess it's hard for us to, without being able to know exactly what's there, what more should they do with it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it's missing a lot of the flavor end part.
The parts that you and I like.
Right. Yeah. And there's not even like the finish. There's nothing. There's just nothing.
This is one of those, we could drink a whole bunch of them just because there's not the 4.8%. Yes, there's that. But I don't know, flavor wise and aroma, it's really kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and you're getting a big 16-ounce can too. So you're getting a lot of beer, but you're not getting a lot there.
Not really a lot to make you come back for more.
I mean, I could drink a can, but I don't know if I'd want a second one because I have to go to the bathroom without even knowing what I tasted.
Right. I mean, on the finish, I do get a very, very minimal hint of a maltiness. But that's it. Very minimal.
Yeah, and
it's right at the end. You know?
Very, very slight.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. Well, okay. Phase 3. Yeah. It's not a bad beer, but there's just not. What we look for is really flavor, aroma, stuff like that. There's really not a lot there for us.
Right. I mean, you're putting all these good things in your beer, but maybe add a little bit more to give it a little bit more flavor to it. I mean, especially if whatever roasted barley, toasted malt, add a little bit more, or maybe a different type, maybe.
Yeah, just something.
Right.
Well, why don't you kick her off? And
I think we've hit a lot of the important parts on it.
Yep.
It's lacking something. I don't know what it is, but it's lacking. I'm going to go with 2.3.
Okay.
A little bit below average, only because the flavor's not there.
Yep. I'm gonna go with 2.4. Just one above it. I think I was gonna go average, but there's not flavor really. So it's kind of like, it's not offensive at all. And I could drink it, but I agree with you where you get done with it and you'd be kind of like, what did I just drink? Because there's just not a lot of distinctiveness, to it. So
100% agree. You're spot on.
Well, I guess we can, or would you like to hear one little factoid?
You got a factoid?
I have a factoid I could read to you.
All right. Because I got a few on the next guy.
Let's see. So St. Patrick, we always think is Irish, right?
Yes.
He was actually not Irish.
He wasn't?
No. He was actually born in what is now Wales or England, not Ireland.
Wow. All right.
He was actually, at the age of 16, he was kidnapped by Irish pirates.
Arr.
And he turned into a slave.
Okay.
He was never canonized.
Okay.
Now, here's the color association. While green is now the dominant color of St. Patrick's Day, the color blue was originally associated with the saint.
Did not know that.
No, I had no idea. Now, here's one I think some people might know. A shamrock, the three-leaf clover. Do you know what it basically is said to represent?
No.
It represents the Holy Trinity to the Irish people.
All right, because they're Catholic.
Now, yeah.
Very Catholic.
Now, here's one, and I'll leave it on this one. Well, let's see. We got, we'll do two of them.
All right.
One is about leprechauns.
Leprechauns. Yep. Those short guys.
Leprechauns, mischievous Irish fairies, are commonly associated with St. Patrick's Day, though they are not directly linked to the saint's history.
Wow, okay.
So he never tried to take their pot of gold.
All right.
And I was thinking about it. I thought, honestly, my knowledge of leprechauns comes from, is it Darby O'Gill and the Little People? That movie from Disney. It was back in I can't remember if it was actually first made in the 60s or 70s. And then the horror movies, Leprechaun. There's like a bunch of those.
Yeah.
That's what my knowledge comes from those.
All right.
Now, the other one I was going to say, in Chicago, they dye the river green.
Yes.
And this is crazy, do you know why they first did that?
No.
They first did it not because of St. Patrick's Day. They originally did it to trace sewage leaks in the river.
Yowza.
But now they just do it on St. Patrick's Day as the tradition. Right. So kind of crazy stuff.
So still don't drink the water.
Yeah, don't drink the water, especially if they were looking for sewage leaks.
Yeah. All right.
Well, all right. Well, hey, the next one we have is by Titletown Brewing.
All
now,
right.
We've had beers from them before.
Yes, we have.
And this one is also an Irish red ale.
Okay.
And this is Johnny Blood Red. And it's 5% ABV and 20 IBUs.
Nice.
So this one, compared to what they said they usually range for ABV, it's just a little bit higher.
Right. A little bit of, we might be stepping out of our own comfort zone.
Yeah.
I did not know a lot of the interesting stuff about Johnny Victor McNally.
Okay. Now that's
nicknamed Johnny Blood.
Oh, I'm guessing there's a reason.
Well, I looked and tried to find out why there was blood in the name and found nothing.
Oh.
So I guess that's one interesting thing.
Yeah.
He's nicknamed for something that's not, so I don't know why that is. But I thought this is a good one since we're a craft beer podcast.
Yeah.
Because he was, very famous football player.
Okay.
One of the original 17 inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So a very good football player.
Well, I think he had 50 years.
50 years?
So he was a player, World War II coach.
Oh, gotcha.
All from the very beginning.
Okay.
So when he was with the Green Bay Packers.
Wait a minute. He was with the Packers?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
for a short period of time.
Oh, okay.
So Curly Lambeau first negotiated a contract with McNally to play for the Packers. He offered him $110 a week if he wouldn't drink after Wednesday.
Really?
And $100 a week if he did.
So a $10 fine, so to speak.
Right, by drinking.
Wow.
McNally, Johnny Blood allegedly took the $100.
He was I can't quit drinking. Never mind.
Although a later story said Lambeau said he would give him the 110 and let him drink on Wednesday for being so honest about it.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was a pretty interesting.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
$100 if you drank on Wednesday or later,
right.
And $110 if he didn't. And he said, "Nah, I gotta take the 100."
I need to have my couple beers.
That is funny.
So how many beers, if that's in the 20s, could you get for $10?
A lot, I'm guessing.
Right.
Wow.
So I thought I had to make sure I brought that up because that was pretty cool.
In this day and age, you'd have to probably take away like $1 million or something. The way
$110 a week.
That is crazy. And he was in the inaugural class
of the 17 original
did it say
members.
What position that he was? Do you know that? I don't know.
And he was a member of the 1930s All-Decade team. Let's see. I'm trying to see here.
Oh, it doesn't. But he was in the group of the first eight to ever be inducted. That's pretty crazy. Well, hey, I guess let's.
All right. Well, let's see how good Johnny Blood is.
Now this one's a little more.
Not copperish.
No, this is a little more red.
Yep. Or if it has to do with the Johnny Blood. Not much aroma.
Yeah, not much, but almost a tinge of a little sweeter aroma. At least that's what it kind of seems like. That one has a little bit more flavor, but it's still not a whole lot.
Right, a touch more flavor. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, there's nothing, I can't really say anything bad about it. It's just not a lot of flavor. Mm-hmm. I was hoping kind of a little bit more.
That's the one thing, though, when we've had like red ales,
right?
Not Irish red, but just red ales. They really don't have a whole lot of flavor. It seems like.
Right. I mean, and I wonder, I don't even know why. Because there's a lot of beers we've had that had that very good roasted barley, roasted malts. I mean, a lot of them really tasted good. I mean, and the people that put them in weren't afraid. But I mean, some of these, it's like, are you brewing for the masses?
Right. Yeah.
Are you a little afraid to put a little bit more flavor?
I don't know. Like I said, compared to the knot, this one does have a little more flavor.
Yes.
But still, it's not much, but there is a little bit more there. So
you can definitely tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like this Irish red ale more than that.
Yeah.
That last one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like I said, the color is definitely more of that reddish, where the other one was that copper.
Yes.
But this one...
And why is it red?
Because it's a red ale.
But
why?
But the other one was a
I don't know.
red ale and was copper.
Yeah. Now you're getting into those questions I don't know how to answer.
Yeah, I don't... again, this kind of like if anybody, the listeners know and want to send us.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, because that is interesting. Why is there that variation? Because it really didn't go into that.
No, we don't know, but we'd like to know.
We would definitely like to know.
We'll even let everybody else know if we find out.
For sure. All right. Well, hey, score-wise, I'm going to go 2.5.
Right down the middle.
I'm going to go, a step up from the knot.
Yep.
Because there is just that little bit of a hint of a flavor, a little more than the knot head. This is definitely more of a reddish brown instead of the copper.
Yep.
And again, aroma, there wasn't a whole lot. But I think between the two, I'd probably rather drink this one because it does have a little bit of flavor.
Yes. I echo exactly what you said. I'm going to go with 2.5 as well. I definitely like this one. I mean, I think I might even like this one. I know I gave the first one a little bit higher score, but I think I actually like this one the best of the first three.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be honest with you, even though my score is lower as well. This one I could see going back for maybe another can,
right?
At some point, if you were somewhere and they had this.
Yeah.
More so than the other two, but, not so bad. I mean, they were all pretty decent, and good representatives, I think, of the Irish beer. So I'm hoping that the next ones we have maybe step it up a little bit.
Well, I hope so. Well, yeah, because I mean, I knew that we were always on thin ice, not knowing a lot about Irish beers. But boy, I mean, I wonder what would happen if you put some of these on some bourbon barrels.
I don't know. I wonder what that would be like, or if anybody has done that. If anybody out there knows, let us know, because that would be an interesting. Because you think about it. Like the first three, there's not much flavor.
Right.
So you're going to probably really get hit with the bourbon.
Right. Throw some flavor in there somehow.
So I don't know. And who knows? And now we do have some other ones coming up here that do step it up a little bit in ABV.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how those compare. I'm sure, hopefully, there's going to be more flavor. So we'll see what happens on those.
Well, the next beer, I found some interesting stuff, too, that I was not aware of.
Okay. Well, this is the next one. Well, the next two that we have are actually the ones that are in bottles.
Yes. Okay.
So the first one we have is by Gray Brewing. Mm-hmm. That's out of Janesville, Wisconsin. And this is their Busted Knuckle Irish Style Ale.
Yes.
And if you look, he's got a very mean-looking leprechaun, I'm guessing.
Yes, he looks like he's not happy.
And he wants to fight. He's
showing his guns.
He's got his guns out, and he's not real happy looking. And this one is 5.2% ABV.
So this Irish Style Red Ale is a special blend of our 4 types of malted barley and 3 varieties of hops. It's medium-bodied ale, showing off a deep reddish amber color and think tan bubbly head. The aroma is sweet and light, followed by moderate caramel malt flavors with light roasted finish.
Okay. Well, this one, again, this is more of that, definitely an amber color.
Yes, you can see
for
through
sure.
that one.
Yeah. And it's got that white head.
Yes.
Kind of that, That's got more aroma.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a better aroma, but it's got aroma.
It's got aroma. Mm-hmm.
Did it say
4 types of barley and 3 types of hops? Whatever they might be.
That's not bad.
So, did you know that the Gray Bottling Company, who bottles the beer, is the oldest family-owned bottling company in the United States?
Nope, I had no idea.
Started in 1856.
Oh my! When did Wisconsin become a state?
1848.
So shortly after.
So they started with soda.
Oh, okay.
So soda was their.
But still,
and they're still making that same soda that they did in the 1850s today.
Really?
And the same the family is still in the same family. That's
1858 to 2025. That's a long time.
So I was like, wow, and that's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, well,
that is crazy.
That's it. I did not know that. I mean, I put some more stuff out there, but it's just talking about how it passed from each family member to each family member. But
they started. Did it say what the soda was that they made?
So it looks like some of them. I don't know if the company also produces root beer, cream soda, strawberry soda.
Is it like Gray's soda or something? Or you know what I mean? Or did it say the brand? Sorry, I'm asking.
Oh, yep. So here it says. So Gray Bottling Works changed its name to Gray Beverages and then Gray's Beverage Company before adopting the current name of Gray Brewing Company.
Huh.
So brewing must be all inclusive then for their
must be
beer and soda.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever had any of that?
No,
I've never. Well, next time we're over in that part of the state, we'll have to check it out. Interesting. Now, I don't mind the flavor. This is, right now, the flavor, compared to the first three, I think this is a little bit more, it's still not huge, right? But it's definitely a little bit more.
Did you have anything on, I mean, because it only said it was an Irish-style ale. So I don't know if that means anything different than, because this is a little red, so I don't know.
I don't on that. I do have on the next two.
Okay.
What those are.
Right. So. I got a little bit on them too, but I mean, so I don't know what that, there's something lingering in the finish.
Yeah, there definitely is. I'm trying to figure, because they keep talking about caramel and that. I don't get a caramel flavor.
I don't think that's what's in there, but I don't know what it is. It's not bad. It's just there's something. There's something there.
Yep, for sure. Interesting. Yeah, and it's not offensive at all. You could definitely, somebody new could drink this.
Yes, without a doubt.
And they would still get a little bit of a flavor, and it's not going to chase them off that way. Because like I said, again, Guinness could chase some people off. This, they wouldn't chase you off.
I'm sure you could drink it, and it's only 5.2%.
Yeah. Yep.
Low ABV. The flavor's not over the top, but I guess for us, we like a little bit more flavor.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, dude, on a score on the busted knuckle? And be careful, because that, like I said, the leprechaun, he might come after you.
He's not happy. I'm trying to come up with my worldly notes to say about it. To come up with something. I mean, I appreciate that they're the oldest bottling company in the United States, and it's here in Wisconsin. Kudos to them. I'm going to give them a point, 1/10 of a point for that. I'm just struggling a little bit with the flavor. I mean, all these have not been over the top flavor wise.
No.
None of these have. So I'm struggling. I'm gonna have to go a 2.4, just a touch below average. It's not bad tasting. It's just of this one, the finish and the mouthfeel is the one that has the weirdest for me of these four.
This one is?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I don't know, and I don't know what it is. I wish I could describe it better so that everybody could understand what that. It's just a little bit of a different finish to it. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yep, I agree 100% with you. Like I said, I think it has a little bit more flavor especially than the first two.
Oh, yes.
The Johnny Blood Red, they're maybe kind of neck and neck.
Right.
But still, the one thing I'm noticing so far, and we do still have a couple of higher ones coming up, but none of them have a real lot of flavor. Now, I don't know if that's a common thing. It must be a common thing. Well, I shouldn't say that, because Guinness has a lot of flavor.
There's a lot of flavor there.
But these ones are all pretty mellow on the flavor. So looking at my scores, I've already put myself into a corner. So I'm going to go a 2.3. I think it might be slightly better than that, but I don't think it's like a 2.6.
Right.
I do like the flavor on it, the little bit there is. I like I said, I do think there's a little bit more, but it's still not a lot, know. But again, I think anybody could drink it.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be real mellow. And that's the one thing I think right now with all of these, the first four is anybody could drink them.
Oh, easily.
So that's a good thing.
Yes. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
Well, we're down to our final two.
Our last two, and I'm hoping that the pot of gold is in one of them.
Well, it looks like we're stepping it up a little bit here. We're no longer in the 4s or the 5 range.
Okay. Now, this next company, we've had a number of beers from this company.
Yes.
And this is actually, if I remember right, one of the kind of the offshoot, so to speak.
Experimentals.
There you go. Experimentals of Point Brewing.
Yes.
In Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And if I remember right, they're one of the oldest breweries in the state as well.
Correct.
All right. So this is Whole Hog, and this is their Gaelic Storm Imperial Red Ale.
There you go.
So this one is, they bumped her up to 6%.
There you go. Yep.
So I was hoping when I saw Imperial that it was going to be
way up there.
But hey, 6% compared to some of these, it's quite a jump.
Yep.
12 IBUs, and this is in a bottle as well. Artwork is kind of I'm not exactly sure if that's a concert. Oh, look in the little picture,
or is that the Celtic people singing the Gaelic?
Oh, that could be.
Dancers?
Like they're dancing. Yep, yeah. That's it. And it's red and white. So.
Here. It says Whole Hog Brewery and the world-renowned Celtic music powerhouse Gaelic Storm are proud to bring you this delicious collaboration.
Okay.
Sit back, sip, and relax while you listen to a Gaelic Storm drinking playlist.
Oh.
You'll feel like you've been transported to the west of Ireland, smack dab in the middle of the most exciting concert you've ever experienced.
Well, we've been to some really good concerts, so they're going to have to
really have
give us something.
Yes. There's a little bit of aroma.
A little bit of aroma.
Nothing.
Not over the top.
No.
And it is that kind of that reddish.
Yep, they said deep copper red.
Yeah.
Is that a good?
You look at it in the light here, it's definitely that copper. But it's between a copper and an amber,
yeah.
I guess I would say. It's got white head, pretty thin.
Yeah, you can see through this. This is not a thick stout.
Again, very mild on the flavor.
There's a little bit.
Little bit. So let's see. I did have, here we go. I looked up what's an Imperial Irish Red.
All right. Hopefully we got some good news.
Well, we'll find out. So let's see. An Imperial Irish Red Ale is a strong, malt-forward ale with a deep copper red color that features a higher alcohol content and more intense flavors than a standard Irish red ale. I'm not really getting now. Maybe your taste buds and my taste buds are just shot from all the really high octane beers we've drank. But this, it's good. I don't mind it, but there's just, again, the flavor wise is not over the top by any means.
No, and that's what I was kind of expecting with an Imperial.
Here's kind of a thing: characteristic ABV typically 8 to 10.6%, and this is 6.
This is well below that.
It's well below that. So I don't know. They may have. There's room they could have upped it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. But it's just not a lot there.
No, and I'm really learning that a lot of the Irish beers just kind of there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know how you're going to get your Leprechaun on drinking these.
Well, maybe that's why they do it. The Leprechaun is more of something they're scared of.
Yeah.
So they don't want to get too drunk in case you got to fight them off.
Especially that one there in the
busted knuckle. You got to, make sure you got isn't it
fight
called
them off.
A shillelagh or whatever their little club thing that they have,
The wooden hammer?
Yeah. So you got to make sure that you don't get blindsided by them when you're all drunked up.
Yeah. Boy.
Boy, how do
you want to rate that one?
Well, I'm going to go at 2.6 on this one. I do think, like you said, I do get a little bit of an aroma. Not a lot, but a little more than the other ones. Flavor-wise, it's not bad. I do get a little more flavor, but it's still, compared to what we're used to, it's really pretty minimal.
Yes.
But I could drink that. But again, it's like you said earlier, would you go back for a second one? I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know.
You'd probably have to really twist your arm to go back for the second one.
If that's all they had, I would drink them. But the other whole hogs that we've had have definitely been, in my opinion, they have a lot more flavor, and they do some really cool stuff. And this is not bad, but it's not a huge step up from these other ones.
Right, 100%. I'm struck right in there with you too. I think I'm going to go with 2.7.
Okay.
Is it the best one I've had today? I think they're all, I'm going to give it the highest score for today, but I think they're still all relatively close. Nothing is really like sticking out or standing out. Like, this is one you've got to try without a doubt. They're all okay so far.
Well, what's funny is this one right here, the beers that we're trying, it kind of reminds me of like when we did Central Waters, their barrel age, or when we've done Goose Island, Duspadania.
Right.
When we say we're splitting hairs.
Right.
But this is like a different hair that we're splitting.
Yeah, this might be one between your toenails or something.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's way down there.
It's not the same level of hair. But it's not bad. But like I said, I'm learning through this, and I'm glad we're doing it because it's honestly Irish beers, Killian's, Guinness. That's been kind of the normal ones you think of.
The Torchbearers,
Kilkenny, things like that, and they're good, and they have a lot more flavor.
Yes.
Where these ones, I can't put those in the same category as those other ones.
Yeah, I think they want to be there, but they got a little bit more work to do.
Yep. And like you said, they've only been around for less than 500 years, where Guinness has been,
They're well established.
Yes. Well established. Well, I suppose we should try this last one, huh?
Last one.
So we're back to a can, and it's a 12-ounce can.
There you go.
And this is by, who's it by? Lakefront.
Yes.
That's out of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
And this is the My Turn Limited Series.
Yep.
Nolan. It's an Irish export stout. And on the can, there's a gentleman sitting on a barrel. I'm guessing that's Nolan.
He looks happy.
He may have found a leprechaun.
Oh, there you go.
Could be. On the can, it says, this full-flavored stout is easy drinking, bittersweet, with a refreshing, crisp taste.
Oh, all right.
6.8%. So again, not super high.
The highest so far today.
Highest so far.
Yep.
What did you find
And I found
out?
Nolan is a sales rep at Lakefront.
Really?
He brewed this Irish export stout. Deeply roasted malts take the lead, providing cold brewed coffee aromas and dark chocolate-like flavors.
Huh.
So you see there's a little bit, I put a little bit on there in the Irish extra stout for you.
Yep. And Irish export stout, also known as a foreign extra stout, is a stronger, bolder version of the classic Irish stout, typically with a higher alcohol content and a more pronounced roasted malt and hop character. Designed for export and long-distance shipping. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I would say one of the classic examples of that is Guinness also has a foreign
extra stout.
So that I hate to keep going back to Guinness, but that's kind of the standard, so to speak.
So we started with a stout, and we're going to end with a stout.
We're going to end with a stout. Yeah, this one's definitely dark.
Dark. I don't think it's as dark as that first one, though, is it?
Maybe
it's
not.
Kind of a really tannish, foamy head.
Yeah, and again, the aroma,
not much.
Not much.
It's pretty muted.
Come on, Ireland.
Stand up.
Yeah. That's probably why the Leprechauns are so angry. They're looking for good, flavorful beer.
Right. They're mad that nobody put anything in there.
Exactly. That's why they won't give you the pot of gold.
Well, there's flavor there.
There's flavor.
Yeah, there's something foreign about it.
It's more on the finish. You know what I mean? Like you swallow it, then all of a sudden you get that. It's not, again, going back to Guinness, I apologize, but it's not that strong of a roasted malt flavor.
No.
But this one on the finish, that's after you swallow it, then you get that kind of that burst of
bitterness.
There you go. Yes.
And I don't think it's cold brewed coffee or dark chocolate.
I don't taste any coffee or chocolate. I just taste like
something bitter,
little bit of a burnt bitter flavor.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, this is not Special X Light either. For all you Jihaman fans out there.
Yeah. No. Interesting. Now, this one, of these six, Jim, I think this is the only one that I could see possibly turning somebody off from that style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it does have that stronger aftertaste a little bit. So,
I mean, because it's in that category of an Irish beer, but boy, those other ones, their flavor was muted. This one, their flavor is kind of like, it really, if you're not ready for it, it'll surprise you.
Yep, exactly.
Ooh.
Boy. And I can't believe none of these had a widget.
No.
For like the little Guinness. And we've had other ones that have it, but none of these had it. So that's kind of interesting.
I think this one, it might have helped a little bit.
I think you're right. It could have used a little mellowing.
Yeah, because that's 6.8. I mean, it doesn't taste like 6.8, but...
No. And it's funny because how many podcasts have we done where we started way above 6.8?
Yeah. At the bottom, that was the bottom. And here we're ending at that.
So we're ending at this one. So I think that's why the Leprechauns are so angry.
Yeah.
They've been saving their pots of gold to buy good beer. That's what I think.
Well, hopefully barrel-aged beer.
Barrel-aged beer, yes. That would mellow them out a little bit. Wow. So, man, me, you. You go first. All right.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan. It's just a little bit too bold, strong. These pronounced. Boy, it's like still lingering in my mouth even after we got done. Mm-hmm. Just not I don't know if I could drink more than, I mean, I think I'd struggle to get to this first can. I don't know if I could drink more than a can, not by the ABV, but just by the flavor.
Right.
And I know we always talk about flavor, but this has got the bitterness is like just staying in my mouth, and I can't even get rid of it. So this is gonna probably be my lowest one today. I'm gonna have to say a 2.2. It's just really tough for me to. I mean, they put a lot of nice words on here, but boy, this is a tough one.
Well, when you were talking about flavor, there's a difference between good flavor and not so good flavor. Yeah. And this one, I kind of agree with you. I could probably drink that 12-ounce can, but I don't know if I'd go back for another one.
Yeah.
Where like Guinness, I've drank several Guinness in a night, but I don't know, this one just has that kind of a different thing to it, and I agree. I'm right there. I'm going to go a 2.2 as well. And it's kind of a bummer. I was thinking that it was really going to be something good, and it's not terrible, but like I said, I do think a new person drinking this, they probably wouldn't come back for another one.
Yeah, they might get scared.
Yeah.
Well, should we wrap this class up for St. Patrick's Day?
We should. You got some music going here?
Well, I will find some music.
Of all of these, Jim, I guess, which ones would you is there one you'd recommend? Or, because where I'm at, honestly, is I think the first 5, a new person could try them and not get turned off. And I think the last one might turn some people off.
Yeah.
But there's really the Johnny Blood Red is probably, to me, flavor-wise, might be one of the better ones.
Right. For this
group.
For this group of 6.
Yes. And the whole hog, I didn't mind it. It did have a little better flavor. So those two are the ones I would.
And I don't know if I've said this before in any of our podcasts, and please don't hold me like up against the wall with one of those leprechaun little sticks. But I think that the established Irish beer makers out there are doing a very good job. I might recommend saying try one of those first before you try this. I don't know. I'm just struggling with this class.
Yep.
I don't know if I can. Is that a bad thing to say? I mean, we tried them. We definitely tried them. We rated them, but the hard part is the. I don't know if the flavors are just not. Like you mentioned, the Guinness, the Killians, the
Kilkenny.
I mean, those are really good beers. I mean, that are really taste good.
Yep.
And they're perfect representations of that Irish style beer.
Yeah.
I don't. Is that wrong for saying that?
No.
I don't know.
And I intentionally try to stay away from like Guinness. You know what I mean? Just because that's the standard, and people would have figured, okay, that's what you're going to have,
right?
So I definitely wanted to do something different, which these are. And there's not one that's terrible, but there's not one that's amazing either. So.
Right. I mean, I think we're both in concurrence that there's...
And like you said, it's we almost never say something like that, but the long established brand right now are those beers. They're the best ones, I think.
Yeah. I mean, are these guys pointed in the right direction? I think they're there, but I think they have some work to do to get up to that level.
Yep.
And our scores kind of give a kind of representation hovering right around average.
We were splitting a different hair.
Right. We're right down the middle. I'm glad that we tried it. There's no way we'd have known what the quality of these beers.
Yep.
But, this is one of those hard ones where we, because we're always trying to get people to try the craft beer. And I think you should try the craft beer. If you want to go out you can go out and try these. There's nothing wrong with them. Just be prepared for what you're going to get.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, hey, I'm glad that we tried these.
Yes.
We hope everybody out there had a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Hopefully you didn't drink too many green beers. We did not have a green beer.
No, we did not.
Steered clear of that. But like I said, we tried some we hadn't had before, and we've learned some things.
Yes.
And again, I think that's why the Leprechauns are angry, because they are looking for flavor. And
we didn't find it this time.
No, we did not find
it. We looked under the rainbow and didn't find it.
There you go. There you go. Well, awesome, Jim. Thank you so much for partaking in the St. Patrick's Day, even though we are a few days late. But right. We still wanted you guys to know that we didn't forget about it.
We're still thinking about it.
We're still thinking about it. So anyway, we hope everybody enjoyed this podcast. And like we always say, we hope your campfire is always warm.
And your beers are always cold.
See ya. Hey, was that a leprechaun? See you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.